Hi guys! So this is a little video commentary on the film Dead Poets Society. It's from 1989 and it does star Robin Williams, so heads up, it's awesome. I titled it, "What Will Your Verse Be?" because that's really the question that this scene in particular really emphasizes, and really the movie throughout. For those who haven't seen the movie, I encourage you to, of course, but I'll tell you that it takes place in an all-boys prep school in New England during the 1960s, and for several reasons, a lot of these boys have a great deal of pressure on them, from their families, from their communities, and not just for money and prestige, but for a lot of family honor that's at stake. So it's a difficult time, not just because they're trying to figure out who they are, but because they're trying to be accepted by the people around them. And they're learning to just accept themselves. So really, I love this movie, not just for Robin Williams' comedic genius, or its youthful spirit as a coming-of-age film, but because it continually forces me to question myself. It inspires me not just as a future teacher, but as a member of the human race as well. And I chose to show you this scene in particular, not because there aren't equally brilliant or moving scenes, but because this scene cuts right to the heart of the film, and it really asks you directly what sort of person you're going to be. So now I'm going to leave you in peace and quiet to enjoy the clip. I'm not going to comment at the end because I feel like really this scene speaks for itself, and I think you need a little time to reflect quietly without hearing my voice. So please enjoy, and I definitely encourage you to watch the rest of the movie. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Gentlemen, open your text, page 21 of the introduction. Mr. Perry, will you read the opening paragraph of the preface entitled Understanding Poetry?
Understanding Poetry by Dr. J. Evans Pritchard, Ph.D. To fully understand poetry, we must first be fluent with its meter, rhyme, and figures of speech. Then ask two questions. One, how artfully has the objective of the poem been rendered? And two, how important is that objective? Question one rates the poem's perfection. Question two rates its importance. And once these questions have been answered, determining the poem's greatness becomes a relatively simple matter. If the poem's score for perfection is plotted on the horizontal of a graph, and its importance is plotted on the vertical, then calculating the total area of the poem yields the measure of its greatness. A sonnet by Byron might score high on the vertical, but only average on the horizontal. A Shakespearean sonnet, on the other hand, would score high both horizontally and vertically, yielding a massive total area, thereby revealing the poem to be truly great. As you proceed through the poetry in this book, practice this rating method. As your ability to evaluate poems in this manner grows, so will your enjoyment and understanding of poetry.
Excrement. That's what I think of Mr. J. Evans Pritchard. We're not laying pipe. We're talking about poetry. I mean, how can you describe poetry like American Bandstand? Well, I like Byron. I give him a 42, but I can't dance to it. Now, I want you to rip out that page. Go on. Rip out the entire page. You heard me. Rip it out. Rip it out. Go on. Rip it out. Thank you, Mr. Dalton. Gentlemen, tell you what, not just tear out that page, tear out the entire introduction. I want it gone. History. Leave nothing of it. Rip it out. Rip. Be gone, J. Evans Pritchard, Ph.D. Rip, shred, tear, rip it out. I want to hear nothing but ripping of Mr. Pritchard. We'll preparate it. Put it on a roll. Is that the Bible? You're not going to go to hell for this. Go on. Make a clean tear. I want nothing left of it. Rip it out. Rip.
What's going on here?
I don't hear enough rips.
Mr. Keating.
Mr. McAllister.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were here.
I am.
Ah. So you are. Excuse me.
Keep ripping, gentlemen. This is a battle, a war, and the casualties could be your hearts and souls. Thank you, Mr. Dalton.
Armies of academics going forward, measuring poetry.
No, we'll not have that here. No more, Mr. J. Evans Pritchard. Now, my class, you will learn to think for yourselves again. You will learn to savor words and language. No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world. Now, see that look in Mr. Pitt's eye? Like 19th century literature has nothing to do with going to business school or medical school, right? Maybe. Mr. Hopkins, you may agree with them, thinking, yes, we should simply study our Mr. Pritchard and learn our rhyme and meter and go quietly about the business of achieving other ambitions. A little secret for you. Huddle up. Huddle up! We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. And medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. To quote from Whitman, "O me, O life of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, what good amid these, O me, O life? Answer, that you are here, that life exists and identity, that the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be?